Here's something that should make every European automaker nervous. Chinese car manufacturer GAC just announced plans to increase their European sales by a staggering 1,700% in just 3 years. But here's where it gets controversial. They're not just hoping to sell more cars, they're planning to build them right in Europe's backyard. The automotive landscape in Europe is about to experience a seismic shift, and GAC Motor is positioning itself as a major disruptor. This Chinese automotive giant has set its sights firmly on European consumers, declaring the continent as one of their 5 priority markets worldwide. According to Wei Haigang, who serves as president of GAC International, Europe represents far more than just another sales territory. It's a strategic battlefield where the company intends to establish a dominant presence. At the recent Munich Motor Show, GAC made their intentions crystal clear by showcasing 2 compelling electric vehicles from their Aion lineup, the compact UT hatchback and the mid-size V SUV. These aren't just concept cars or future promises. They're production-ready vehicles that European consumers can actually purchase. The company's European portfolio will expand further to include the all-electric Aion Y crossover and the premium Hypetech HT Coupe SUV, creating a comprehensive range that targets multiple market segments. What makes GAC's approach particularly interesting is their current focus on pure electric vehicles, though they've hinted that plug-in hybrid options will eventually join their European lineup. This electric-first strategy puts them in direct competition with both traditional European automakers who are scrambling to electrify and other Chinese brands that have already established footholds in the region. The numbers GAC is projecting are nothing short of ambitious. Starting from a modest base of 3,000 vehicle sales expected for this year, the company plans to ramp up to 15,000 units in 2026, before exploding to over 50,000 annual sales by 2027. To put this growth trajectory in perspective, it represents a 17-fold increase in just 2 years, a rate of expansion that would make even the most optimistic startup envious. However, these European figures, while impressive in their growth rate, still represent a small fraction of GAC's global operations. In 2024, the company achieved total worldwide sales of over 2 million units, with 127,000 of those coming from international markets outside China. This demonstrates that GAC isn't a newcomer to global expansion. They're an established player with serious manufacturing capabilities and financial resources.
But here's the part most people miss. GAC isn't content to simply export vehicles from China and deal with the associated tariffs and logistics challenges. The company is actively exploring the possibility of establishing local production facilities within Europe itself. This strategic move would allow them to circumvent the increasingly complex trade tensions between China and the European Union, while potentially offering more competitive pricing to European consumers. Wei Haigang addressed this sensitive topic directly, expressing hope that ongoing negotiations between Chinese and European officials might lead to reduced tariffs. However, he also made it clear that GAC isn't waiting for diplomatic solutions. "We are hoping the Chinese government and the European Union can negotiate further to bring the tariffs down," he stated. "In the future, we hope to accelerate the manufacturing localization so that we can build up manufacturing capability in Europe to better serve the European markets." This localization strategy raises fascinating questions about what truly defines a European car in today's globalized automotive industry. If GAC builds vehicles in Europe using European workers and potentially European suppliers, are they still a Chinese brand, or do they become something entirely different? The broader context makes GAC's expansion even more significant. Data from Jato Dynamics reveals that Chinese automotive brands collectively nearly doubled their European market share during the first half of 2025, reaching 5.1% and representing 347,135 vehicle sales. This rapid growth is being led by BYD, which sold 70,500 units, while other emerging Chinese brands like JAC, Omoda, Leapmotor and Xpeng are also posting impressive growth figures. What's particularly striking about this trend is how quickly it's accelerating.
Just a few years ago, Chinese car brands were virtually unknown in Europe, outside of a few niche players. Today, they're capturing market share at a pace that traditional European manufacturers are struggling to match, particularly in the electric vehicle segment, where Chinese companies often offer compelling combinations of advanced technology and competitive pricing. And this is the part most people miss. GAC's success in Europe won't just depend on their vehicles, specifications, or pricing. They'll need to overcome decades of consumer perceptions about Chinese manufacturing quality, establish reliable service networks, and build brand recognition from essentially zero. These challenges are substantial, but they're not insurmountable, especially for a company with GAC's resources and determination. The implications for established European automakers are profound. Companies like Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz are already facing pressure from Tesla and other electric vehicle pioneers. Now they must also contend with well-funded Chinese competitors who can potentially offer similar technology at lower prices, backed by massive domestic market experience and government support. So here's the controversial question that deserves honest discussion. Are European consumers ready to embrace Chinese automotive brands? Or will national pride and quality concerns keep them loyal to traditional manufacturers? And perhaps more importantly, should European governments be concerned about Chinese companies potentially dominating what has historically been one of Europe's most important industries? What do you think? Will GAC and other Chinese automakers succeed in reshaping Europe's automotive landscape? Or are they underestimating the challenges of building consumer trust and brand loyalty in such a competitive market? Share your thoughts. Are you excited about more choice and potentially lower prices, or worried about the implications for European jobs and industrial independence?